Hello and welcome. New Plymouth. Of course, we're in Palmerston North. Hello and welcome to Palmerston North. I thought I was up the road then for a minute. Welcome to the 2020 Secondary Schools Girls Central Invitational Tournament. Almost took myself to New Plymouth there. We've got a couple of teams from New Plymouth actually, but we are coming to you from sunny Palmerston North. Justin Nelson and Stacey Lambert with you. And how could I forget where we are, Stacey? You are, of course, one of the mainstays of basketball here in Palmerston North. I hope you're well, Stacey.
Oh, I am well, and yeah, I can see how you might get confused with the fantastic weather that we've been having here. You thought you might have been in New Plymouth.
I was actually just doing some reading up on teams coming into the coverage, and I had New Plymouth on my mind. But of course, we are in Palmerston North, and we must say the weather has been fantastic as well. Sunny every day, and we're looking forward to some fantastic basketball over the next couple of days. 2020 is very much a different year, of course. Usually at this time we would be playing the full-on secondary school nationals. But there are a number of tournaments being taking place right across the nation. The Secondary Schools Girls Central Invitational Tournament here. And there's the lineup today. There's some very, very good teams involved as well, including 3 of the top 6 teams at the Nationals in 2019. Coming your way in just a few moments' time. Rotorua up against Napier girls. And then there's the coverage for the remainder of the day. New Plymouth, Wellington East. We'll talk about Wellington East a little bit later on. Thrilling win last night for Wellington East in overtime. Fielding, Queen Margaret. And then, of course, rounding out the day, Sacred Heart, New Plymouth and St Peter's. Cambridge St Peter's, of course, will be the odds-on favourites in this tournament. National champs in 2019. Let's have a look at the 2 lineups for this first game. We'll start with Rotorua, who are warming up on camera at the moment. There's the lineup. Horn, Edwards, Webster, Roberts, Tomawana, Keel, Ferguson, Roberts, Ahaya, Tiao, Fairley, and Tauriri Orangi. How did I go?
Tahuri Orangi.
Not too bad. Sue Penny, the head coach, and she has a wonderful, wonderful record coaching secondary school basketball. Very well known across Rotorua and a fantastic servant of basketball. Let's have a look at the Napier girls lineup. Beamsley, McIntosh, King, Swan, Poi, Malou, Kerr, Cunningham, Adams, Murphy, Morgan Maskell is the head coach, well known his basketball exploits. And a thrilling game last night, I mentioned in the introduction, up against Wellington East. Napier went down by 5 in overtime. Gee, it was a thrilling game, Stacey, and it just highlights how close this competition is.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that are up for the runnings at this tournament. There's been a few large spreads between different games. Good to see in this pool especially 3 teams really fighting it out, with Wellington East, Rotorua girls and Napier girls all with 1 win apiece, one win each apiece. So they're really fighting it out for that second spot.
Napier in the all blue for this game. Rotorua will be wearing the white singlets. Now, results from yesterday. This is a Pool B game. There's Coach Sue Penny giving the last-minute instructions to her team. Results yesterday, both of these teams went 1-1. So for Rotorua, a win against New Plymouth, 81-50. Then they lost to Mount Maunganui, 47-59. Mount Maunganui, we'll talk about them during the day. They have jumped out of the blocks. There are 3 wins from 3 games at the moment, and they look like a serious threat to St Peter's. For Napier yesterday, a win over New Plymouth, 90-78. That's why I had New Plymouth on my mind, by the way. And a loss to Wellington East last night by 5 points in overtime. It was probably one of the most exciting games of the opening day's play. What are your thoughts here, Stacey? two teams, they're settled in. They've had a couple of games each on day one. The systems will be starting to work. The messages will be starting to get through. What are your feelings coming into this game?
Justin, I'm quite excited about this game. I watched Rotorua play last night, and they played with a lot of heart. They like to push the tempo a little bit. They were a little slow getting back on defence, but they played with so much heart and never gave up. Where Napier, well, we know they're going to be a well-drilled team. They shoot a lot of three-pointers, so I think both teams will be shooting a lot of three-pointers. If they can't get to the rim, they'll be looking to throw it out. So we could see some exciting quarters where there could be some flurries of points getting thrown on the board.
Isn't it great to see basketball back? It has been such an indifferent year, 2020. It's a year that we'll never forget. But it is just exciting to see basketball back, and just over the course of yesterday, watching the players interact, you know, walk around the venue, get on court, you can just tell they are so pleased to be back playing the game that they love. And it's terrific to see them out there. I've got no doubt we've got a couple of very big days of action coming your way from the Central Invitational Tournament for the secondary girls. 10 teams in action, 2 pools of 5. And we're underway in this game between Rotorua and Napier. Rotorua are in the white singlets, and they are off and going to start this game with first possession. Roberts lands the first one, and the opening score of the game goes to Rotorua. Keep an eye out for Dakota Roberts, by the way, the number 10. Averaged 17 points a game yesterday. And in the past has been a part of Basketball New Zealand selection camps as well. So,
definitely a great leader from the game I saw her play yesterday. And we saw Rotorua straight into their 1-2-2 zone press to start the game.
So some early shots for Rotorua. Here's Webster. Can't put it away. And Napier now. Murphy pushes the ball onto the run of Cunningham. Loses control, loose ball. And some early running here for Rotorua. Roberts sends the ball up the floor quickly. Receives it back. Two teams just looking to adjust. There's a long, deep shot from the outside from Ariana Ferguson. Coming to you from Palmerston North. Of course, the home of the secondary school nationals that we would normally be a part of at this time of the year. I think last year there were 70 or 80 teams involved across the course of the entire secondary school competition leading into the nationals last year. 390 teams. A couple of opportunities there for Rotorua. And over I think around about, maybe just a tick over 4,500 players. So there's a lot of basketball action that usually takes place during the year, Stacey. And of course, it has been interrupted this year. Just great to see some hoops being played.
And I have to say, Justin, it's got to be my favourite tournament to be a part of. It's just players seem to have a little more passion for their schools. They spend so much time together. It's just played with a lot of passion.
Just the one basket in the opening couple of minutes. Rotorua in possession again. Steady up, outside shot. Webster, Alyssa Webster, very good. Looked balanced, put it away. And it's a 5-point lead to Rotorua, the team in white. I like the fact, Stacey, that they are pushing up with some pressure up the court early in this game as well, forcing a mistake there. Here's the shot. Nice and balanced, outside. Extra pass, and a lovely basket
just
for Alyssa Webster.
Isn't there, Justin? Inside, outside.
Here's Webster again.
Both defenses challenging the shot at the moment, really packing in the defense, not allowing anything easy near the hoop, making them shoot from outside.
Nice little pass inside, loose ball. Comes out to Ferguson, goes up high, higher. Long shot, big rebound underneath to Huri Orangi. And a loose ball, it'll fall the way of Napier. Interesting opening day for Napier. In that second game, they came up against Wellington East, who really shot the lights out early. Jumped out to a really good lead. Napier had a lot of work to do. They got themselves back into it. They actually got themselves back in front and led for a fair part. And then Wellington East stormed home to tie it up and then ended up winning in overtime. Exciting contest. Still searching for their first points in this one. And you've been a part of tournaments so many times in the past, Stacey. What's it like backing up on that second day? Because we're nearly 4 minutes gone in this opening game for these two teams on day two. Napier still looking for their first score, and they're a team that can score. They can certainly pile on the points. They had 90 in their first game yesterday and 74 in their second game. That next morning after day one, what's it like backing up?
Look, I'm sure these young people have always, they're very used to playing lots of tournaments and having to play a couple of games a day. They should be right into the swing of things now. The body shouldn't be in too much bad condition.
So Rotorua out to a 6-point lead. Make that 7. We do have a number issue on our team list here with number 11. It wouldn't be a tournament without numbers being incorrectly put down in front of the commentators. So, in fact, that might just be why we've got a stoppage in play at the moment. So, we're just sorting that out. Game to restart. Napier still looking for their first score, down 7. And here's that pressure again, Stacey. It's a good move by Coach Sue Penny to get that pressure up the floor.
Yeah, quite an undersized team, Rotorua, so certainly trying to play to their strengths, speed the game up.
Good work by Aaliyah King, turning back to that right and drawing the foul.
Yes, good time. We could hopefully see Aaliyah King step up. She's been their leading scorer so far at the tournament on over 20 points. So while they're struggling, they probably might want to look to her to release a little bit of pressure. Very hard though, Justin, when teams are putting pressure for teams to be able to run plays and get the ball into the hands of the players that the coach wants to. So great start here from Rotorua.
King from the line and puts away the first point for Napier. So the icebreaker is there, and hopefully that's the one that gets them up and running, because they can score and they can score quickly, especially from outside the arc. Into a man now. So the defense has changed up, pressure, and they come up with it. So a good move. Just been watching Coach Morgan Maskell in front of us, pacing the sidelines and getting some instructions out to his team. So he'll be pleased that they're starting to settle now. Rebound, Dakota Roberts. Through the middle of the floor. Sizing up the options, directing traffic. Swinging that ball from side to side. Nice little jumper from Tiao. Twisting, turning to the basket, drawing the foul, Giselle Roberts. And she'll go to the line for a couple. Early going, halfway through the first. Low scoring game, and I keep coming back to it, but yesterday, Napier put away 164 points in 2 games. So it is a slow start.
I don't think Coach Morgan Maskell will be too concerned when your team shoots a lot of threes. You're going to have quiet periods, so you just have to trust the numbers, keep putting them up, crash the boards.
Giselle Roberts converts both. 9-1. Here's that pressure up the floor again. And Napier work their way through inside, turning on the left. King couldn't put it away. Interception. Napier. Now this is better. From high. Madison Cunningham saw her put away a lot of three-pointers yesterday. Very balanced shooter. And not afraid, Stacey, to take that shot, even if she's 2 or 3 feet outside the arc. Has a lovely shooting action. Loose ball, scramble. And that'll be a possession arrow. Just letting everybody know the pools here. So Pool A, St Peter's of Cambridge. Timeout called in this one. And of course, we don't really need to talk too long and hard about the quality of St Peter's over the years. They are the reigning national champions. They have been a force in secondary schools. So they headline Pool A, Sacred Heart College of New Plymouth, Fielding High School, which is just down the road. Tell us a little bit about Fielding High School.
Yeah, Fielding's a little town just north of Palmerston North. And Fielding High School's a co-ed school, quite a large co-ed school. Possibly 1,500 students. Yeah, and they've been one of the strongest schools in Palmerston North for the last 2 decades. So it's good to see their girls program. The girls program has got a wild entry card into the tournament. Is that correct? So yeah, it'd be great for them to get some experience.
Queen Margaret,
great teams.
Queen Margaret College also in Pool A, Sacred Heart College Lower Hutt in Pool A. The 5 teams in Pool B, Rotorua, who we're looking at now, Wellington East Girls College, Napier Girls High School in action right now, Mount Maunganui College, New Plymouth Girls High School. Mount Maunganui have really jumped out of the blocks hard in this competition. They're 3-0 and seemingly on their way to semi-finals. Semi-finals and grand final coming your way tomorrow. Semi-finals action, by the way. Top 2 in each pool will then cross over 1v2 and the opposite. But Mount Maunganui, tell us a little bit about them. Yeah,
they're a well-drilled team. They had a solid defense, changing up their defenses all the time between zone and man-to-man. And Coach Rob Tuilava has got them running the triangle. And so they've got some nice spacing, and teams they've just been able to run whatever they want to run, to be honest.
Nice basket. Alyssa Webster draws the foul and will go to the line for the bonus. Aria Edwards, by the way, is wearing number 11. We've had that confirmed. That was the change on the score sheet. Great basket, Alyssa Webster. Just put a couple away before. Lovely shooting action from the stripe. And it's now a 12-1 lead. Stacey, when do you start to worry? When does that happen?
Not until the second quarter,
Because I think when it was 7-1, you said not too much to worry about at the moment. It's now 12-1 and a turnover there.
Well, they've certainly got to do something against the half-court trap that they've put on. That's really slowing them down and taking them out of their rhythm.
Well, let's add another couple. 14-1 start for Rotorua. 1-1 yesterday, both of these teams. They both defeated New Plymouth. And then for Rotorua, a 12-point loss to Mount Maunganui. But an excellent start here. There's that triple player press. Napier still searching for their first field goal, and there it is. Big three-pointer for Napier. Excellent work there from Alia Beamsley, and that's just what they need to get going. Answering back the other way. Pressure up the floor once again. Napier looking to settle. Can they put away consecutive baskets? Ball is with King, dribbling and searching, flicking it in on the left. No, can't put it away. Rebound to Huri Orangi. Webster been very good early. Here's Edwards through hands. Tumawana gets it out to Roberts. Again, switching sides, moving the ball. And was that a shot clock violation? I think it may have been. I think it may have been. Some substitutions for Rotorua. What are your early impressions on Rotorua? They've come out very strong, haven't they?
They have. Napier's just come out with some good subs that have just made a huge change. They've had 2 solid defensive stops, which that's got to be something Coach Morgan Maskell wouldn't be happy about. 14 points it was in the first 6 minutes. So take care of business back down the defensive end before they can start getting.
Here's Roberts on the run to the basket. Couldn't put it away. Rotorua will pick up possession though. Now don't forget, for all the latest happening in the secondary schools tournaments right around the country, just head online, www.nz.basketball. A lot of action coming to you live on Sky Sport Next. Interesting shot from Alyssa Webster. And of course, social media, you can check out all the basketball action from secondary schools on social media at Basketball NZ. Nice look at the basket, came up short. .2:22 left to play in this opening quarter. Swan brings the ball in to King. Aaliyah King yesterday, 20 points a game. So they can certainly put the points on. At the moment, just being held up, long shot from Aaliyah King. Off the front of the iron, out of play. And again, things just falling the way, Stacey, of Rotorua. They will be very, very happy with what they've put together in this first quarter.
They'll be very tough to come back to because they're a tough team too. They're very gritty.
Again, moving the ball around that arc nicely. Well spaced. Through heavy traffic, off the glass and in. Very good basket. Tomoana. And now out to 16-4, and there's that trap. It has worked so well for Rotorua in this opening quarter. Tomoana, nice work through heavy traffic. And when you've got baskets like that dropping, when you're pushing your way into the defense and landing those blows through traffic, things are going pretty well. Putting the pressure on, twisting, turning. Webster, who has been very good in this opening quarter, again draws another foul. And with what we've seen from Alyssa Webster so far at the line in this opening quarter, you would think she'll put at least one away here, probably both. Always happens. Always happens. Let's focus on the second one, shall we? Webster up and misses both. Did get the ball back. She'll blame me for missing those two after the game. Roberts misses, but again, a third opportunity. Back with Roberts, one way then the other, pulls up on the jumper, in and out. Back for a fourth time, and you just cannot give up that many opportunities. Tomoana with the putback, 4 opportunities to score on that occasion.
And Coach Morgan Maskell was certainly not happy about that.
Well, that lead is out to 14 inside the last minute of this opening quarter. No wonder Coach Sue Penny looks relaxed. Have a look at her on the far side there. She's very happy with what she's seeing at the moment. Trying to find some space. Napier again coming up short. Roberts back the other way. Pulls it back out. Nice little handoff. Fantastic work. Ferguson with the score. Ariana Ferguson. And they get it back again. So this is now a very significant, miss there from Roberts, a very significant quarter from Rotorua. Ariana Ferguson mopping up 22-4. It's just a shell-shocked Napier team at the moment. And again, Rotorua back the other way with a turnover. Offensive foul called against Carly Ohio. What a start. We're a little bit gobsmacked, to be honest.
Yeah.
What's the message going to be at quarter time from Coach Morgan Maskell? He's already used one timeout. They just have not worked their way through this press at the moment, have they? Because it has been a significant part of Rotorua and their game plan in this first quarter. So we'll talk about that more in a moment. 22-4. What a start from Rotorua. Big lead, and I don't think anybody saw this coming. And it's that press for me, Stacey. They're working up the floor. They've come in with a game plan. They want to put pressure on at every given opportunity, and it's worked.
I did speak with Coach Morgan Maskell before the game, and he was aware of the press. He felt his players would be confident enough to make the right decisions, but I would guarantee that that's what he's going to be having to talk about at the moment. It's really taking them out of their rhythm, so they're getting opportunities late in the shot clock, and a lot of their shots are being contested. So they really want to get more attacking to the basket, creating players, defenses to help and commit, and then get some more easier passes out for easier shots.
2020 Secondary School Girls Central Invitational Tournament here in Palmerston North. Even though I did my best efforts to take everybody to New Plymouth to start off with. Justin Nelson and Stacey Lambert with you. Now coming up today, just to give everybody a bit of a sneak peek at the action on Sky Sport Next coming up today. There it is, New Plymouth, Wellington East at 2:15. Fielding and Queen Margaret at 5:45, and then a long day in the commentary box, 7:30 tonight, Sacred Heart New Plymouth taking on St. Peter's. That's what is ahead of us today here in Palmerston North. Big thanks also to all of our presenting partners and supporters, Basketball New Zealand, Sky Sport Next and NTEC, Basketball Manawatu, Sport Manawatu and the Palmerston North City Council, and of course our partners Inspire, Glory League and Moulton. Great to have you with us. What about we go to Rotorua and Sue Penny? What would her message be at quarter time, Stacey?
To keep the pressure on. Teams, when you're up in a lead like in this instance, you have a tendency to pull the throttle back a little bit, and then you lose your rhythm. And basketball, as we all know, is such a game all about rhythm. So she'll be wanting them to keep pushing hard and doing all the things that they've been doing so well, that have been creating good opportunities for them, which has mostly been their defense.
And make no mistake, this is an important game. I think from what we've seen in Pool B so far, Mount Maunganui with 3 straight wins look like they're the team that'll sew up that top position. But the second spot, the spot that gets you through to semi-finals, is wide open. Rotorua, Wellington East, New Plymouth Girls, Napier. I mean, it is wide open. So this is a very important game for these two teams. No doubt the coaches will be well aware of it. Here's Dakota Roberts. Has looked good in the opening quarter. Again, moving the ball around. I like this from Rotorua. They find the open shooter, and the open shooter delivers. Tamawana. And that lead out by another 2. It's at 20 now. Again, this pressure, significant. Trying to find a way through. Unable to put the basket away. Saria Adams. And again, Rotorua spread the floor. Some good screens up high. Long shot is good. Off the hands of Alyssa Webster. And right now, something just needs to change up. That lead out to 23. Napier searching just to get a couple of baskets go their way. And there it is. That's the one they wanted. Alia Beamsley. And she's hit 2 3-pointers now, one from either side of the court.
Great impact off the bench.
27-7. They find some voice, Napier, from the sidelines. Back to the basket, turning around. Ohio couldn't put it away. Looking at the shot. Second look was a good one from Webster. Goes in and gets the ball herself and puts it away for another 2. So whether it's inside or outside at the moment, Rotorua really are converting at a high clip. Deep. Napier looking for back-to-back threes. Unable to bridge that gap. It sits at 22. Nice movement. Unable to finish it off. Tomoana, who has looked lively. And foul committed. Take us through this pressure, this trap, Stacey, that Rotorua are applying. They've got 3 players up the floor every time, and it's just that first player in that, almost like an arrow press, that first player is just over the halfway line, and they're trying to force the ball to the side. Take our viewers through that press and what Rotorua is trying to do every time, and they've done it successfully so far against Napier.
They're trying to get 2 players on the ball to make a pressured pass out, to not allow the pass down the sideline, and then hopefully to not allow the pass to the middle. So double team the ball, and then they've got to try and throw risky passes. And really what we need is Napier need to come to the ball, flash into the middle, come meet the ball, turn and attack. They have done it effectively a couple of times this half. And it looks like Sue Penny's gone and pulled out of that strategy.
Yeah, interesting. And it's usually a press that you don't want to over-dribble the ball either. You want to get your passing game going. And you're right, they've just pulled it back a little bit here. That's a lovely pass inside on that occasion for Napier. I think it was Aaliyah King. Great hands. Out of court. So Napier come up with possession, and maybe just a couple of things falling the way of Napier in the last 30 seconds or so. Can they convert at the other end? Here's Beamsley. Should have said before, sorry, by the way, the numbers look very similar. Maddie Kerr was the player that was hitting those 3-pointers. Not Beamsley, the one in the 7 looking very similar.
Maddie Kerr, yeah.
Yep, Maddie Kerr was hitting. There she is right there, Maddie Kerr.
Sincerest apologies, Maddie.
No, very good shooting too, by the way, Maddie Kerr. And I like the fact that she was able to put one away on either side of the court as well.
And she's been playing solid defense down here too. Fighting to box out. Got a little block shot before.
Here's Aaliyah King. Nice shooting action. What a great camera angle that was too. Just to see that shooting action of Aaliyah King. Margin is at 20. Edwards will spider gap there. Pulled back out. Nice cut off the high post here, Roberts. Forces her way in, 3 or 4 to beat. Turnaround jumper, couldn't put it away. And Napier now with a chance to go forward. Here's Cunningham. Out wide, Beamsley.
Just Rotorua's defense has just been relentless. Just every time somebody drives, there's someone else there to help.
I must admit, Stacey, just venturing around and looking at the games yesterday, I was quite impressed with the defense by a lot of teams. Just relentless pressure trying to force turnovers, and in fact, as we talk about it, there's another one.
Another great stop.
Something that we've seen a lot of from many teams here. Good work by Madison Cunningham. Napier really needs to get Cunningham going. To the line for a couple here. Heading down towards half-time. And it has been a very impressive first half by Rotorua. Napier just clinging in there right now. They're in the battle. Cunningham misses the first. Second one as well. They need to drop those at the moment. Every point is important right now when you're trying to claw back a gap like this. Ohio on the wing. Again, that got that curl cut, Rotorua going really, really well off that high screen. We've seen them run that a number of times.
Yeah, they set the player on the high post. We get two cutters coming off and they overload one side. Then it opens up the other side. It normally goes to
Roberts.
number 7, Tomoana.
Tomoana has been very good in that position as well, you're right. Here's Cunningham on the floor, driving the basket hard, still can't put it away. They're going to start dropping soon enough, you would think. They've got to keep taking those opportunities. I like the fact that they're now trying to force their way in and force some fouls, put some pressure on. Turnaround jumper, nice looking shot from Webster. Here's Roberts, oh again, working her way through, and that's a nice little basket. Just needed a little bit more pressure on that occasion. Cunningham, nice, puts it in. Not sure that the points, yeah, they do count. That's exactly what Napier need. Probably the last 3 or 4 times down the floor, Madison Cunningham has just said, give me the ball. And has driven hard in on the basket. She's been to the line a couple of times. Points are good on that occasion. And she can convert here for a 3-point play. Balanced, just not dropping those free throws at the moment. That lead sits at 20. But you can see the spirit is starting to rise for Napier, isn't it, Stacey? They're trying to work their way back into this contest.
Absolutely.
Now there's a foul off the ball here, under the basket. May have been on Cunningham, I think, on the rebound. Rotorua's ball. Webster looking to bring it in, finds Roberts, balanced, ball on the floor for one dribble, pull-up jumper, delightful shot. Never looked like missing.
Can see why she's their leading scorer, Justin.
And that press is back on. Nearly forcing a turnover. Kerr in the corner. Back to Beamsley, twisting, turning. Coming up a little bit short on the shot. All white singlets around the rebound. Roberts closely guarded. Ball falls to Ferguson. Couldn't get a clean pass away. Here's Beamsley. Kerr's down in the corner, but they go up high for the long shot from King. And just settling things down again. Dakota Roberts. Again, player flashing through the middle. Jade Keel. That might be Keel's first basket of the game. 35-11. And guess who's taking the ball to the hoop once more? Madison Cunningham. Fouled. Just needs to find some points from the charity stripe if she can.
I think Napier's certainly getting a lot better opportunities than they were in the first quarter. Some of the shots aren't dropping. The defense is collapsing really well. There's a lot of offensive rebounds just floating around there, Justin, if Napier crashed the boards a little bit.
There's one. Amelia Swan, the number 11 for Napier, coming onto the floor, replacing Maddie Kerr, who I think is 2 from 2 from outside at the moment, Maddie Kerr. A couple of big baskets for Napier in this opening half.
Great contribution off the bench.
Long, deep shot from the wing is going to come up short. And we've got a timeout with 2:55 to play. So 35-13. Napier just clinging at the moment, but it has been an impressive first half for Rotorua. What a start from them. There they are, Sue Penny, chatting with the team. Got to be impressed. Both teams coming in 1-1 after yesterday. And it is so tight in Pool B. I think we'll find that the result of this game will go a long way to deciding that second semi-final position. Morgan Maskell, coach of Napier. No doubt he's got to be a lot happier with the second half. But what are some of the things, Stacey, that Napier just have to get right from here on in?
Oh, the defensive end to start with, I suppose. That was much better, but there's a lot of second chances for Rotorua. They're crashing the boards offensively. So boxing out is one area. And then I think down the other end too is just being strong with the ball when they're finishing off on the shots. They're getting to the line. They've just got to convert.
Stacey, tell us a little bit about this time of the year in Palmerston North, because it is a big basketball period for this wonderful city. They love bringing the secondary schools teams to Palmerston North. Last year, as I said, 72, I think, teams when we had the full secondary school nationals. A little bit different this year with everything that's happened around the country and the world. But it is such a big basketball time for this city, and the whole city gets right behind it, don't they?
They do. I mentioned it before, Justin. It's one of my favourite tournaments because of the passion of the players, and fortunate to live in this city that we get to see it every year.
All up, I think, at this wonderful venue, there's 9 courts. So it is definitely one of the biggest homes of basketball in the country here at Central Energy Trust's arena.
Yeah, and another thing that allows it to happen is the great support and volunteer crew that we have here in the Manawatu basketball. Often people from Levin, Wanganui, all coming over to contribute. Because it takes a lot of people to run this tournament. 4 people on the bench all the time, constant volunteers running around food to people, and it is one of the largest events in the city.
In the bonus, Adams converts the first, misses the second. Well done, Swan, on the rebound though. Wins it back for Napier. Beamsley trying to get some ball movement. There's a long shot from Cunningham. Deep off the back of the iron. Wins it back now. Again, she gets on that charge through the key and drops that one in. So an important basket. Timeout called by Rotorua. 35-16. And if they can just get 1 or 2 more baskets before the end of this first half, they'll take some confidence with them into that break.
His perseverance paying off there, Justin, for Cunningham. Consistently attacking the rim, getting to the foul line. And that's, as a coach, you love to see that when players are struggling, is to attack the rim so they can get to the foul line. When you get to the foul line, you get a couple of free shots, helps you get in rhythm. Next shot you get, like she just showed, from the knuckle, and she nails it.
It's a 13-12 second quarter, by the way. 13-12. So definitely a marked improvement for Napier in this second quarter. And that'll give them some confidence going forward. Coach Morgan Maskell.
Yeah, Rotorua certainly controlled the pace of the game. Pulling the press on and off at different times. Lulling Napier into a false sense of security.
Now, Stacey, at halftime, we'll have a talk through some of the basketball action coming everybody's way in the back half of this year. Thankfully, we're going to see a lot more basketball back on court through October and November. So at halftime, we'll bring you up to speed with everything that's happening around New Zealand basketball-wise, both in juniors and senior competition. There's a lot of big competitions on the way, so stay tuned for that. Halftime, we'll talk you through that, but a lot of basketball in the back end of what has been a very interesting 2020. Good turn and off the left for Ohio. Couldn't put it away. And Napier with a chance now inside the last couple of minutes to close this gap. It's been a much better second quarter for the team in blue. Nice setup here, Cunningham. She's a good shooter on that occasion, though. Missed everything. And an opportunity goes begging to close this gap. Dakota Roberts. Webster inside, Ohio outside, in and out. I think that was Giselle Roberts. In fact, it was Ariana Ferguson who has found open space a number of times in this opening half. Again, a turnover, and turnovers may be something that Coach Maskell will talk about at halftime because they have proved costly in this first half, haven't they?
Coach's worst nightmare, turnovers.
In and out on the shot.
And
Tomoana. Cunningham, Beasley. Beasley looks at the three here. We were told coming in that one of the great strengths of Napier's game is their outside shooting. They're going to start falling at some stage. Of course, Maddie Kerr put a couple away earlier on in this game. Dakota Roberts, who always looks a threat off that little jump shot.
Such a versatile player, eh? She can shoot the three, she's got the mid-range, she's not afraid to attack to the rim, and she plays tough D.
Here's Beamsley trying to find some space. Almost ran into her own teammate there. I think she did. Into the path of Adams, and again another turnover. 10 seconds to go in this first half. Been very impressive performance by Rotorua. Roberts, one way then the other. Finds some space. Long, deep shot by Alyssa Webster. Unable to fall. And there it is, first half. So Rotorua 37, leading Napier 16. Before we head off for a break, Stacey, just your quick thoughts on that opening half. Rotorua with a 21-point lead.
Yeah, Rotorua clearly controlling the tempo of the game. Outstanding defense, forcing the Napier girls out of their offense, out of flow, and they're really struggling offensively.
So halftime, 21-point lead to Rotorua, 37-16 over Napier. Hope you're enjoying all of the action of the Girls Central Invitational Tournament on Sky Sport Next. When we come back, we will tell you what's coming your way over the next couple of months. There is a lot of basketball action to be played right around New Zealand. We'll talk about that on the other side of this break.
Tukaha.
It means stand strong. To the great challenges we face.
To stand strong with our brothers and sisters.
With our families and our communities.
With our supporters.
With those who lift us up to take on the world.
It's the name of our haka.
Tāringa whakarongo ki Aomori.
Stand strong.
Stand with us.
Tukaha, New Zealand.
Welcome back to Palmerston North, the 2020 Secondary Schools Girls Central Invitational Tournament. Justin Nelson and Stacey Lambert with you. Napier Girls High School on screen there with some work to do at halftime in this one against Rotorua. 37-16 the lead to the team in white. Big day coming up. Let's have a quick look at more action coming your way on Sky Sport Next. 3 more games today. New Plymouth and Wellington East from 2:15. Fielding and Queen Margaret at 5:45. Stacey, I think you're rejoining me for that game a little bit later on today. And then tonight, Sacred Heart New Plymouth up against the mighty St Peters of Cambridge at 7:30 this evening. Now, lots of basketball action coming up through the back end of this year. It has been an indifferent 2020. Let's not beat around the bush. 1 minute you're on, next minute you're off, and all sorts of things happening, and it's just great to have basketball back. But coming up, under 15, the Aon Under 15 National Championships, 24th to the 26th of October in Hamilton. 31 teams, 16 boys and 15 girls teams. That'll be a really, really good competition to watch. The Aon Under 17 National Championships, same dates, October 24 to 26. 24 teams, 14 boys and 10 girls from Christchurch. So the National Championships for the 15s and 17s. Lots and lots of exciting basketball will be played at those two nationals.
Yeah, should be very exciting. The under-15s have just been moved from Auckland to Hamilton.
Can you remember that far ago, by the way? Can you remember that long ago, Stacey?
No, I can't. That is a long time ago. Well, I actually coached one of those teams. So Waikato have had a really, really strong dominance in the last couple of years, right. Waikato boys. So I think they won back-to-back, and they had 3 teams in the Nationals. Wow. 2 of them were in the top 4.
So you're coaching the 15s or 17s?
15s.
Right, okay. And then a couple of other competitions. November 12 to 14, the Chic 3x3 Cup for the National Basketball League. 10 men's teams, 10 women's teams at ILT Stadium, Southland. Nice basket there to start the second half for Alyssa Webster. Just the start Rotorua would have been looking for. So the Chic Cup coming up November 12 to 14. And then from November 19, we've got the Selves NBL 18 in 18. The Women's National Basketball League is returning on November 19 for 18 straight nights of action. That's going to be fantastic. All, of course, being broadcast live on Sky Sport.
Wow, that's exciting. Awesome.
So lots of basketball still to come in 2020. Now, the points were good here, by the way, while we were talking about that, for Tiani Tomowana. Goes to the line for the bonus, misses, but importantly, a 4-zip start for Rotorua and a turnover here, and away they come again. Ariana Ferguson couldn't put it away. But that pressure once again telling early in this second half. 41-16. Cunningham just losing her feet there. Was a leading player for Napier in that first half. There's Dakota Roberts. I like the way that Roberts settles things down, and that's an excellent finish. We've seen her do that a number of times in this game so far. I like the way that she controls the speed and the tempo of the game. Has a good change.
Very composed player. Comfortable inside, outside. That's a really good sign of a good player. One that can play fast but composed.
Here's Webster. Again, they just flatten out that offense. Out to the corner. No basket. Murphy pushes it on to Beamsley. Finding a way through, and does find a way through. That was nice. Just couldn't finish.
One of the first times there, Justin, we've seen them push the ball up the court. Be able to get the ball up the court quickly. And a 3-on-3 opportunity there, and unlucky not to convert.
High screen set. Murphy with the inbound to Cunningham. Couldn't finish. King with the long shot. Ball out of play, and Rotorua to come up with it once again. Third game of the tournament for both of these teams. First game on day 2. Day 1 ended 1-1. Napier now putting a little bit of pressure up the court. Ball falls to Ferguson. Had a very good first half, as did Webster. Again, they flatten out for her, give her some room to work through the top of the key. Couldn't finish the shot. King brings the ball up the floor. Cunningham goes from deep and banks it in. Madison Cunningham. I did speak earlier, Stacey, that Madison Cunningham not afraid to shoot from well outside the arc, and that was a good example of it. Big three-pointer. Nice little play inside. Travel called though on Taria Orangi. There she is on screen there, number 6, Madison Cunningham. If she can land a couple more like that, that may just get Napier going, Stacey. Exactly what they need. Foul call.
Definitely a lift in energy. They got a full court pressure before. See if they come out of full court pressure here again out of this free throw. Looks like they are, and looks like Sue Penny wants to have a talk about it.
And I think Coach Penny might be talking about a couple of things. Certainly the pressure, but the other thing is the last 3 times down the floor for Napier, they've just found a way to look at a shot. And of course, Cunningham with that last big 3. So no doubt that'll be discussed. 43-19. Who are some of the players that have impressed you so far?
Certainly Dakota Roberts. Just her versatility, the composure, the way she's controlled the game. And for Napier, certainly Madison Cunningham has been announced having a solid performance. Things aren't necessarily dropping for her all the time, but she's doing the right things. You know, she's staying with her strengths. She's attacking, trying to create for her team.
Big call out to all of our officials, referees, volunteers. All a part of helping to put this tournament on. There's some good advertising there for Girls Got Game. Wonderful program right across New Zealand. Great to see the girls in action, back on court and doing what they love to do, playing some basketball. And of course at the senior level, as we mentioned before, we're going to see a lot of our elite level women in action in the near future with the Chic 3x3 Cup and also the Cells NBL 18 in 18. Great to see our National League teams back on the court as well. 1 in, 1 out for Adams and Rotorua. Let's see what they set up here off the back of that timeout. Up against the zone now, and good work, Kerr, to come up with the ball. That's Isabel Kerr, wearing the number 3. Drawing the foul.
Immediately, Justin, I like that change in defense from Napier there. Most of the whole game, they've just been able to throw the ball straight into the post, which means the defense has to collapse. So the threes, then they're kicking out for open threes.
Napier off the baseline, running that up screen again, trying to get the player coming through the middle for the 2. There's an outside shot for Alia King. Roberts, again, just looking composed all the time. Long shot deep from outside by Giselle Roberts. Here's Cunningham. Again, the shot coming up short for Napier. We spoke before about Dakota Roberts. Has in the past been to a BBNZ selection camp, and we do get to see a lot of these players involved at this level who are getting along to these selection camps. 15s and 17 nationals we spoke about before. Just inside the 3 for Roberts. Off the back of the ring. Gets it back again now. Looking to take it on. Skips her way through. And it rolls in for another 2 for Rotorua. 45 plays 20. That lead at 25. At quarter time, 22-4, 18-point lead. At half time, it was a 21-point lead. Moving the ball well again. Foul call. And it will be Tomoana going to the line for 2. Getting around yesterday and watching some of the games, Stacey, what were some of the things that you saw, some of the things that impressed you? There's 10 teams playing here over the Central Invitational Tournament, including 3 teams from the top 6 at last year's Nationals. We'll talk more about those teams and the 2019 results shortly, but what were some of the things that impressed you yesterday?
I was impressed with the pace of the game. I watched Queen Margaret and who was it? Queen Margaret and St. Peter's, and geez, it was a furious pace of that game. Ball was moving a lot, moving around. So yeah, I guess the pace of the game was the first thing that I've enjoyed. Also enjoyed seeing a few different teams running some of the old plays that old coaches used to use, like the triangle. Just gives players different skills and opportunities to use different skills and develop different skill sets.
Madison Cunningham from the line, helping to bridge what is a big gap at the moment. Here's Roberts. Again, just setting things up. The zone's back in play, and good work by Cunningham. Gets the steal, goes all the way to the basket. She's done that a number of times in this game. And a good score there for Napier. Napier, by the way, last year at the Nationals finished 9th. Rotorua finished 17th. Good work by Kerr, winning it back for Napier. There's Cunningham again, draws the foul, and will go to the line once more. Something we've seen a number of times so far in this game. St. Peter's of Cambridge, national champions last year. Queen Margaret finished 5th. Sacred Heart Girls College in New Plymouth, who I think we see a little bit later on today, finished 6th last year. Napier 9th. So we've got 4 of the top 10 from last year's Nationals with us in Palmerston North this time around. Wellington East finished 14th. Rotorua 17th. And Wellington East, as we said last night, their game against Napier, what an exciting game that was. Did you see any of that game yesterday?
No, I didn't see that game, Justin.
A lot of fun to watch that one. Wellington East out of the blocks fast. They shot well in that first quarter. Just stunned at Napier early in the game. Napier came fighting back, got ahead in that game, and then it was all levelled up before Wellington East went on with a 5-point win in overtime against Napier last night. I think I'm right in saying this, the only overtime game so far in this competition. Rotorua out by 23. Nice play inside, turnaround jumper for Tomoana. Can't put it away. Isabel Kerr with the rebound. King to Cunningham. There's another one of those deep shots. Came up short on that occasion. But always a threat. Roberts again, composed, settling things down. Setting the play up. There's that high post action, finding the second curl cutter off that. And Tomoana, but a foul off the ball. Did you pick that up, Stacey? Was it an offensive screen? Adams can find the funnier side of it there, just having a bit of a laugh. Amelia Swan back into the action, brings it into Adams now. Inside the last 3 minutes of this third quarter. It is a game that has seen Rotorua skip out to a very impressive early lead, and they've held firm since then. King, nowhere to go. Swan working her way to a shot off the glass. Couldn't finish. Napier to bring it in under their own basket. Here's Cheyenne Murphy. Now the work off a high screen here, up the lane, and the pass off the back of the backboard is a turnover. Have you ever done that in a game before? Pass off the back of the backboard?
No, but I've hit the side of the backboard on a few shots, I'm sure.
You're not going to own up to those, surely. Surely, Stacey. Of course, it's been a big year of basketball for everybody here in Palmerston North. In the Sells NBL men's competition, the Jets went all the way through to the grand final. What a thriller that was.
Oh, yeah,
losing by 2 points to the Otago Nuggets. But I dare say that there were a lot of people talking basketball during those 6 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. It was good to see the community get behind the team. The community's always been a good community at getting behind the team. And I think we had property brokers back on board, and they were sponsors many years ago. So, look, just some great players came to Palmerston North, came to play for the team. So it was very fortunate.
Great basket, jump shot by Tomoana. Another 2 for Rotorua. 51-26 now. It has been a very good display. Came in with a game plan and they've executed it very well. Oh, maybe too many steps. Off balance. Giselle Roberts. A little bit hard when the feet are going one way and the body's going another. Timeout called by Napier by the looks of it. There's Amelia Swan as they try and find some answers right now. It has been a very dominant display by Rotorua. Recently seen the Tall Ferns in action, of course, during that same competition we just spoke about, the Sells NBL showdown for the men. We saw the Tall Ferns in action. Great to see 24 of New Zealand's very best coming together, and just reminding us all of the depth in women's and girls basketball across New Zealand. We continued, or certainly pre-COVID, we continued to see some wonderful results on the international stage. I know Basketball New Zealand's high performance manager, Leonard King, is here with us in Palmerston North at the moment and watching these games with great interest. It is fantastic to see New Zealand doing wonderful things on the world stage in basketball, and hopefully international basketball returns shortly.
Yeah. Geez, what are our young people thinking, especially the ones just about to head off on scholarships to the States? I must really feel for those young athletes and what other paths now do they need to start looking at for the best pathways for their own careers.
Oh, no doubt. And I think somebody said to me when I first arrived here in New Zealand about a year and a half ago that around about 10 years ago, there was only one, maybe two Kiwis playing college basketball. And now there's more than 100. Boys and girls. It's quite remarkable, isn't it? The growth of the game here and what we're seeing these young athletes go and do on a global stage. It's fantastic to have that many players not only playing basketball at a great level in college, but also continuing their education. We are going to see the benefits of that for many years to come. Wonderful opportunities. Heading inside the last minute of this third quarter, Isabel Kerr from the corner. Of course, we saw Maddie Kerr drop a couple of great shots in the first half for Napier from a similar position. Rotorua with all the answers at the moment, though. It's been a very impressive display. Nice cut to the basket by Webster. Couldn't finish it off. Tomoana. Roberts wanting to get the ball inside to Webster. In the end, works it to the outside. Ferguson in and out. Isabel Kerr on the drive. Has the shooter back in Murphy. Pushes the ball over to King. Good defense from the corner, Adams. Let's have a look off the baseline here for Napier. Now, if they're true to form here, you'll see some screen action and a spread of players. They go to the corner. Kerr goes back to King. Now they switch play, and I think we've got a shot clock violation, or in fact, is that? No, it is. Shot clock violation. So Rotorua come up with it again. Tell us a little bit about the region of Rotorua. I actually haven't been there yet. I've heard a lot about it. I've had the chance to travel to a lot of parts of the country. Might get a deep shot here on the buzzer. We do. Unable to put it away, Carly Ohio. So three-quarter time, 51-26 in favour of Rotorua. They've led from start to finish and putting on a very impressive display at the moment. Stacey, Rotorua, tell us a little bit about that wonderful part of the country. What can I expect when I get there?
You can expect outstanding Māori hospitality.
Of course, I've heard a lot about the hot springs. Very well known in that part of the country. Yeah.
It's geographically a very unique place, and I've always thought the Māori that lived there back in the day were very clever because you had a heat source available to you. So it is a place where a lot of tourists attend. And then a huge industry is growing around there with tourism. I must put a shout out to all of the people in Rotorua who are certainly going through difficult times at the moment with the drop in tourism. So also, beautiful landscapes, lakes. Wonderful place to be.
I look forward to getting up there at some stage. Napier, I've been across there, Napier and Hastings. Again, just a wonderful part of New Zealand. Lots to see and do there. And speaking of tourism, and not only are we seeing basketball by teams coming into this region here in Palmerston North, but you know, the call is definitely out for everybody across the country to get out and see other parts of the country. Get out there and tour the North Island and the South Island. We need to put some money and you know, really support the economy, the tourism industry. I was recently down in the South Island through Blenheim and Nelson and Kaikoura and Hanma Springs and all those areas. Just wonderful parts of this country. Get out there and support our tourism industry. And as you mentioned, Rotorua, another wonderful part of the country. And they're all smiles at the moment, aren't they? The Rotorua Girls High School really good display to open up day 2 of the Central Invitational Tournament, leading this one 51-26. Stacey, put yourself in the shoes of Napier. What would they be looking for in this last quarter? Because they've got another game today.
Yeah. Look, a mammoth task ahead of them here. Look, they consider themselves a team that can shoot, so they're not going to give up yet. But at some stage, you do need to start thinking about maybe resting some players for this afternoon's game, or again leaving them in there to help them develop and get some rhythm and confidence. Certainly, he'd be wanting them to execute the principles on defense and offense that guides their team. Despite the spread and the score, there's still a lot to be gained.
Well, take us to the opposite situation. Rotorua, what are they looking for out of this last quarter?
Again, you're wanting to finish strong, finish well, so you can come into the next game with confidence and rhythm. Opportunity to keep some players fresh, try some different rotations. See, both teams have pretty much most of their starting units out there at the moment.
Ferguson brings the ball in for Alyssa Webster, picks it up early. Again, they run that very, very deep flat offense, which opens up a lot of space. And once again, that teardrop floater from Dakota Roberts. Seen her put that shot away 3 or 4 times already in this game. They get it back. Roberts setting the play up. Webster involved once more. Had the shot, now out to Roberts again. There's Webster. So Webster and Roberts very much a part of that play 3 or 4 times, and in the end it results in another 2 points. I think that'll be an offensive foul against Madison Cunningham at will. Good defense by Dakota Roberts. 57-26.
As a coach, you've got to love that play. That's the greatest play of the game. You get a turnover and a foul on the other team. Perhaps was lucky to get away with that one. Perhaps was moving a little bit.
Here's Roberts inside, going to the basket, off the underside, Tomoana. Kerr to King to Kerr. Had a little bit of a sneaky look there, Maddie Kerr. Now a long shot from Cunningham. All glass. Tomoana. Roberts receives from Ferguson. Nice little jumper inside, comes up short. Both teams just lacking a little bit of energy at the moment. The game has slowed right down. Some substitutions coming back into the game. Tahuri Orangi for Rotorua. And I'm glad I'm sitting beside you, Stacey. I do openly apologise for the Aussie accent. I can't do too much about that, and I am trying as hard as I can to get all the names correct. It's foreign territory for me. I have actually recently started learning Te Reo. I'm really keen to learn and be able to speak Te Reo. Oh, absolutely. I think the people of New Zealand do a wonderful job at embracing, traditional owners of the land. It's something that we talk about heavily in Australia, and I think New Zealanders do a wonderful job. So I may call upon your advice and expertise and help over the next couple of days.
Anytime.
Here's Cunningham. What have you made of Madison Cunningham's game today for Napier?
Very impressed, very impressed. outstanding attitude. Despite things not going Napier's way at all today, she's just not given up. She just keeps attacking and attacking. And there she goes again, heading to the line for another 2. I've actually, that's something that you asked me before. If I look back and I look at what I've been impressed with, is the attitude of the players.
Yep.
Is you know, any mistakes, heads aren't hanging down. They're just getting on with the next play. And that's actually something that Coach Morgan Maskell was wanting his team to start out with today, was to react faster than the other team. Unfortunately, they've been on the back foot most of this game.
Here's Madison Cunningham again. Puts the second one away. And she'll go and take a break. That might be the game for Madison, as Amelia Swan comes in to replace her. So Rotorua leading this one 57-28. Again, nice curl cuts off those high posts, and this should be a good finish. Foul is called, and that will send Ariana Ferguson to the line for a couple.
It was Ariana that was helping us with the pronunciation of their names before.
Oh, there you go, thank you.
And we had her down as Nicole, so she wanted to be changed that her name was Ariana. So.
I hope we've served her well. I don't think we've called her Nicole once, have we? Just got a break in play here at the moment. 6:23 left in the fourth. Just a reminder, coming up this afternoon on Sky Sport Next from the Central Invitational Tournament. 2:15 this afternoon, New Plymouth taking on Wellington East. There we go, 2:15 this afternoon. 5:45 Fielding and Queen Margaret. And 7:30 tonight, Sacred Heart and St Peter's. That's all the action from day 2 here at Central Energy Trust Arena in Palmerston North. Finals tomorrow, looking forward to that. It'll be a bit of fun. Long day. I think we start at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You ready for that, Stacey?
I'm an early bird, Justin. Yeah.
Nice. Ariana Ferguson.
It's a very cold morning this morning here in Palmy.
Weather's been great. What are you talking about? Been beautiful sunshine the last couple of days. Ferguson makes both. Takes it out to a 31-point margin now. Swan.
You must have got up late, Justin, when it was a bit warmer.
No, don't say that. You noticed when you said you're an early riser, I actually didn't buy into that. I stayed right away from it. Although there's nothing like the garbage trucks and the sweet streepers waking me up in the streets of Wellington at about 3 o'clock in the morning most mornings. So, do you have that problem here in Palmerston North?
No, not at all.
Giselle Roberts will go to the line for 2 here.
It's a 10-minute town, this town. It's very easy to get to basketball training and back home again. It's no traffic.
No, I like it. And very well serviced by some wonderful facilities as well, this being one of them. Fly Palmy Arena and Central Trust Energy Arena. 9 courts. It's 9, isn't it? 9? Pretty sure I've got that right.
9 and one of them is a show court.
Yeah, one of them's
we could have more if one wasn't a show court.
It is a wonderful venue.
Other sports also have big tournaments here too. We also have the volleyball nationals here. That probably has more teams than the basketball tournament.
Really?
Yeah.
So here's Rotorua leading this one comfortably. It's been an impressive effort. Their ball movement has been exciting to watch. Great basket for Alyssa Webster. Finishing off some good ball movement. Swan on the drive is fouled and will go to the line for a couple. We mentioned earlier the pools in this competition. Pool A, St Peter's, Sacred Heart College, New Plymouth, Fielding High School, Queen Margaret College, Sacred Heart College, Lower Hutt. That's Pool A. Pool B, Rotorua, Wellington East, Napier, Mount Maunganui and New Plymouth Girls High School. Mount Maunganui, saw them in action again this morning. They are 3-0 at the moment, so they are looking very good in Pool B. And I've got a feeling, if I've got this wrong, I'm sure somebody out there will pull me up. I'm not sure that Mount Maunganui played at the Nationals last year, did they?
No, they weren't. They weren't. This is one of the first years that they've entered.
It's very impressive performance so far. I think they're on their way to semi-finals. Here's Roberts. Misses. Offensive rebound by Jade Keel. And again, they move that ball so well around the arc. Foul is called. And Aria Edwards will go to the line for a couple of shots. So winding this one down inside the last 5 minutes, it has been a comprehensive effort by Rotorua right from the start. They came out, I remember all the way back at the start of this game, Stacey, when it was 7-1, you said everything, no panic button yet, it's okay. But since then, they've just gone on with it, haven't they?
They haven't looked back at all. They've controlled the game and everything in it right from the beginning.
Edwards couldn't put the shot away. Here's Maddie Kerr. And now Aaliyah King. One way, then the other, looking for Swan. Cut off by Ferguson. Hands it over to Roberts. To Ferguson with some space. Pull-up jumper. A little bit deep. Kerr with the rebound. Ball on the floor. Away she goes. Aaliyah King. Oh, pull up on the long three. That shot is short as well.
All right, look, I don't mind a lot of three-point shots, but I'd like to see the ball worked around a little bit. I'm sure Coach Morgan Mescal would, you know, look to attack inside first. I did see his scouting sheet, and that was one of their goals, was to get to the rim. So dribbling up and, you know, work the ball around a little bit, Justin, and you can always get a three-point shot later on in the shot clock.
Another impressive basket by Dakota Roberts. Looks very, very balanced when she takes those jumpers. Battle underneath, off the glass. Not rolling in for Aaliyah King. And back come Rotorua. Who do they play this afternoon, Rotorua? Let's have a look at some games ahead. They're taking on Wellington East later tonight, Rotorua. And for Napier, they take on Mount Maunganui. So it doesn't get any easier for Napier later today. That game between Rotorua and Wellington East could be telling as well, as teams are searching for a top two finish and a semi-final berth. Isabel Kerr unable to find Amelia Swan on that occasion. Inside the last 3 minutes. 37-point lead to Rotorua in this one. Loose ball, deflected, scramble, and we'll have a possession arrow.
I was wondering if Coach Sue Penny was going to give some of her starters a rest, but as I look down her bench, it's not a deep bench. There's not a lot of subs down there.
I saw Wellington East last night, just the 8 players involved for Wellington East. So they're going to want to keep the rotations up across their pool play. Keep everybody fresh. And as you can see there in the distance, Rotorua look like they're running a squad of 9. Or is it 10? Might be 10 now, is Dakota Roberts.
Yeah, we have got
No,
to start.
stepping back on is Dakota Roberts on the corner off the court.
She's got to shoot some free throws.
There we go. Took off and went and high-fived all their teammates on the sideline and then came back out to take these shots. Nails the first. Been an impressive game from Roberts.
Look, I'm not surprised. I watched her last night. She didn't play as well last night, but you can tell this got such a great attitude. Constantly putting pressure on. Playing with a lot of composure. Good leader. Leading by example.
Edwards. Tiao. And now Roberts again. Settling things down. Always looking to call a set, aren't they? They're always looking to set something up. And there it is, curling off that high post again. Is there a travel in there? No. Swan with the rebound is fouled. And Napier will get the ball. That's one thing I've been impressed with right throughout this game with Rotorua, especially when Dakota Roberts settles things down. They're always looking to run a set, always. It's worked well for them.
Yeah, very hard for defenses to set up their strategies and set up their help side when teams are moving with purpose.
Foul on the play. And Napier to head to the line for 2. And wouldn't you know it, no number 9 on our list. Might be Shante Malou. I don't think we've seen Shante so far in this game, have we? The other notable absentee for Napier in this game, we haven't pointed it out so far, but Ashley Poi hasn't played in this game. Shot 15 points a game yesterday. And in fact, just looking over on the sidelines, got the feet up at the moment, so maybe an injury yesterday for Ashley Poi. Can just see Ashley sitting on the sidelines in the distance there. So a tough blow there for Napier. I thought you said Coach Morgan Maskell gave you the full debrief before the game, Stacey. Didn't mention that.
Didn't mention that, no. One of his leading scorers out.
So
He
Napier,
was very excited about telling me about Rotorua, so he certainly done his homework. But just his team wasn't able to execute today.
well, a lot of what he discovered probably correct as well. Inside the last minute, comfortable victory for Rotorua, 70-31. Third game of the Invitational for both of these teams. They came in at 1-1. Rotorua will exit at 2-1. Napier at 1-2. And for Napier, they've got a really challenging game tonight against Mount Maunganui, who at the moment are 3-0. Can they be the team that challenges St. Peter's tomorrow? We'll have to wait and see. Clock is ticking down. Good victory for Rotorua. They get the last shot of the game. 70-31. A lot to like about their execution and style of play. And no doubt they will be happy with their first up performance today on day 2. They take on Wellington East at 7:30 tonight, Rotorua. As we mentioned, Napier girls later on today take on Mount Maunganui. Rightio, Stacey. give us the rundown on what you thought of that game, some of the strengths of both of the teams, and what they have to do from here if they want to get through to the semi-finals.
Thanks, Justin. Well, Rotorua, what an amazing display. We did not expect to see such a large discrepancy in the points. They just came out with on fire. Their 1-2-2 press at the beginning of the game in the first and the second quarter really slowed down and took Napier out of their rhythm. Turnovers led into points, and really Napier just got in a bit of a rut and couldn't get out of the hole. Certainly some standout players for Rotorua was Dakota Roberts and Alyssa Webster. That's a really dynamic duo. Okay, looks like we're just about ready for interview, so we're going to head over to Justin now.
Standing here with Tony Tomawana from Rotorua. Congratulations, great win, fantastic start. Really jumped out of the blocks, put that pressure up the court, forced a lot of turnovers early, and from there just went on with the win. Well done.
Thank you.
It was impressive. No doubt the game plan was to put the pressure on early. It did force a lot of turnovers. It was a hot start, 22-4. What were the messages from the coach?
Oh yeah, she wanted us to, at the start of the game, she really wanted us to put the pressure on, and when we got our subs rolling, she wanted us to keep that going, and I think we really did good with keeping the pressure on, especially in the next quarters as well, and with our bench players, so that was good to force a lot of turnovers, and especially for us finishing our shots as well.
And a real team effort as well. A lot of players getting involved in the game. That must be a really good sign going into this afternoon's second game.
Yes, I think we've really grown as a team throughout this game and yesterday's games, that we can really just pass and know where each other is, so that our team chemistry is really good and helps for our next games as well.
Well, congratulations. You've done very, very well in front of the camera. Good luck this afternoon. 2-1 at the moment, and who knows what can happen from here. Well done.
Thank you.
Tony Tomawana joining us from Rotorua. Let's talk to, I think we've got Madison Cunningham from Napier. Madison, nursing a sore hand there. Things just didn't go to plan from the start. They got off to a hot start, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but we managed to somehow get in control of what we were doing, run our game plan, but it just wasn't how we wanted it to plan out.
And that pressure that they put up the floor early forced a lot of turnovers. What were the messages from Coach Morgan Maskell?
We just had to slow the game down, do what we do, and control the ball, not play to them, play our own game. And because we have a tendency to speed up when we get pressured, so we just had to slow down the game and play our own one.
Now, I noticed an injury on the sideline. Young Poi wasn't a part of that game. What's the news there?
She hurt it last night in our game against Wellington East. They were just really aggressive and physical, and most of us came out hurt from that game.
Well, how are you at the moment? Are you going to be able to play this afternoon?
Yeah, just straight in would be good.
Good on you, I like it. Hey, best of luck this afternoon. 1-2 at the moment. It's a big one. You're taking on Mount Maunganui. They've been very impressive so far.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult game.
Hang in there. Lots of ice by the looks of it. Good on you. Madison Cunningham joining us from Napier. Now, coming up this afternoon, 2:15, New Plymouth and Wellington East. Make sure you join us for that one. Rotorua, big winners on that occasion. We'll see you soon. More basketball coming your way on Sky Sport Next.